my friends. Welcome back to my channel, Diamonds and Washi. My name is Katie, and if you're new to my channel, hey, welcome. I hope you'll consider subscribing. And if you are back, welcome back. Today, we're doing a WIP and Chat. Do you guys even remember what these are? Because it's been a long time since I've done one of these, it feels like. I'll explain why here in just a bit. But WIP stands for work in progress, and Chat stands for chat. So feel free to whip out your WIP and work alongside me. I'm just going to chat with you all while I'm working on a diamond painting. You are welcome to craft alongside me, or if you want to have me just keeping you company with whatever you're up to. Running errands around the house. I don't discriminate. So I'm just happy that you're here and ready to catch up and chat with me, you guys. So I am going to be working on a piece that's actually from DP with Sparklers called Carousel Horse. It is licensed. I'm looking for the artist's name on here. Laura Martin. It's down here at the bottom. It is a relatively small kit, and I forgot about this kit until I was doing my stash video a couple weeks back. And I was like, oh my gosh, I forgot about this kit. I forgot to put it in my Gems Flow app. And once it's out of sight, it's out of mind. But I was pulling out all my boxes and doing my video, doing my thing, and was like, oh, hey, look, I forgot about this kit. What perfect timing as well, because there's an event going on right now that my friends Jamie and Kirby over on Instagram are hosting called ABs in August. I will link to their Instagram profile so you can go and take a look at what all the requirements are. But I believe that you just have to be working on a kit that has at least 4 ABs in it, or special drills in it. And this one has, like 10 or something. It's got a lot. But yeah, so that's this kit. I believe it's still available from DP with Sparklers. I'll link to it below. I'll link to all these things below. Oops, let me just, smack things. But I have a lot of goodies here that are from, I've done a couple of small shop hauls since my last WIP and Chat, and so I have a backlog of accessories from new to me companies or new accessories from not new to me companies that I need to try out. So I'm not going to get to everything in this particular video because a lot of the things I needed to test out were things like waxes and putties. So if you're looking for me to be testing those out and you're like, why aren't you testing these out? You said you were going to test them out in your next WIP and Chat. It's just because I don't know. I like to kind of spread it out and like spend a WIP and Chat just working with a couple of different like new putties or waxes. And then in my next one, I'll test them out. But WIP and Chats should be more consistent this month for sure. So let me tell you about what I am working with here. So this is a pen from Norse Alchemist. I got so many pens in the past couple weeks that I have multiple here to show you guys. But this was a gift from Jen. And this is from Monarch Designs YEG. It's a really pretty like floral pen. And that just came in. And then this is a pen from Enabler's Outpost. It is so pretty. It's one of the thin pen blanks. And then this tray is from Munimade, and I don't think in my WIP and Chats yet that I've tested out. I could be wrong, so please don't quote me on this. Like, really, my memory is terrible. Very, very possible and likely that I did, in fact, test out one of her newer trays in my last WIP and Chat. I didn't go back and look, you guys. My memory, I'm telling you. And I just had a very busy night, so I didn't take the chance to do that. But a month or two ago, she did some really minor changes to her trays, and I actually really like them. I have been using them, but I wanted to try them out in a WIP and Chat. This is a minder that is from Galloway's gallery and is new and is very, very highly accurate. And then this minder was a gift. I'm blanking on the name of the shop off the top of my head, but it was a gift from Jen as well, who also sent me this pen. But I just thought it was such a beautiful Loki minder. Is there Loki in this diamond painting kit? No, but I am pulling out that Loki minder anyway. I'll link to the shop for it below. Like I said, I'm just blanking on the name of it. Now, I'm going to be testing out, this is Randa's Crafty Corner. This is her new hard and sticky scented wax formula. She just launched the hard and sticky wax a few weeks back. I haven't tested it yet, so I'm going to try this in my single placer. And then this putty is Rivet Stick It from Crashly, Crafting with Crashly, and she just launched this a few weeks back, and I'm just now going to get the chance to actually test it out. I typically use putty in my multi-placer, and wax like this in my single placer, so that's what we're gonna do. First, so I've got clean tips in both of these pens. I have been using this one from Enablers Outpost just a little bit, so I think I'll start with the Norse Alchemist pen. And I just got in a bunch more of these thin metal multi-placers from a shop on AliExpress. I'll have that linked below as well. I have noticed something about these multi-placers though. So of these thin metal multi-placers, I've noticed there's two different kinds out there. There's these ones that, oops, sorry to bump you. These ones that have the like little rubber bands down here at the end. And then there's these ones like these that don't, and they have these like posts at the end instead. To be honest with you, I vastly prefer this style, but these are like 5 or 6 times as expensive as this style. I don't know why. I haven't looked into like, is it something about the actual like quote metal that's used or whatever, but for the cost difference, like these are like $1 or $2 each. I think they were like $1 each. For the cost difference, I'll just go with these. Now, if you're like me and it drives you crazy to use the ones with the rubber bands and then you put it in there and then it wants to spin, you can grab, sometimes I find if you can like create a vacuum, it stops it from spinning like I just did. Or you can just grab some washi tape and wrap it around the end that's going in the pen, and that will kind of help it not spin. So we're gonna see if this works for now. But this is really pretty. Okay, let me open up a section and I'll load up this pen with stuff and we'll get started. So how are you guys doing today? Now that I've spent like 6 minutes on like intro-y stuff. Hi. I've really missed you guys. I feel like I'm almost giddy. Like I'm so happy to be doing a WIP and Chat again. Like I feel like I sound like just very high energy, which is really funny because I just finished filming a different video this will have gone up by the time you see this video, because I just filmed a video that's going to go up tomorrow, which is Sunday. It's currently Saturday night, so I'm going to have a video. It's like a haul unboxing of Amazon Diamond Art Club kits. That's going up tomorrow, which is Sunday, and then this video is going to go up on Monday. So anyway, I just finished filming that like really long video, and still like I have tons of energy. Like I've just been so stinking excited to be able to come on and do a WIP and Chat. So why haven't I been doing WIP and Chat? So why has it been since I looked back? July 17th was my last WIP and Chat. July 17th. It's currently August 6th. It's been a while. What happened is summer with the masters, which is completely fine. I ended up deciding to, both for the sake of just my own personal like workload and just the flow that Jessica and I had decided on for when our videos were going to go up. My summer with the masters videos were going up on Mondays, and I had both the week 8 video and like a grand finale video to put up. And so those went up back to back. So that's 2 weeks that just, I didn't have a WIP and Chat at all. And I had too many other videos to put up during those weeks to try to squeeze a WIP and Chat in on an off day. And plus that would have just defeated the purpose of me trying to lessen my workload. Okay, so this putty is soft, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it's not going to work well for actually placing diamonds. We'll definitely take a look, but that's a little bit soft, a tiny bit stringy. But you know what, guys, it's hot here. So I have the AC on, but it still feels warm in the house. So we'll see. It's really common for putty to get soft and whatnot, like, and react to heat in particular. Okay, let's try. Okay, so this is a little, it is sticky, but it's not as hard as like patty wax super sticky. But I want to make sure she gave instructions and it was just scrape to load, but there's not much resistance to it. It's loading up really easily. So again, that could be a weather thing. Let's make sure I actually like try these different waxes and putties out when it's like cooler out. Now I live in Southern California, so it's pretty temperate here, but we're in the middle of August, beginning of August. And I feel like we just are in that like warm, like perpetually warm and humid time of year. Sorry, I got that putty on my fingers and now my fingers are like really sticky, but I don't want to lick those fingers directly or I'm just going to be like licking wax. But I mean, this is marshmallow scented. That smells really good. I love everything s'mores, so that's perfect. Okay, let me try not to like have a total, be like totally manic here. Okay, deep breaths. Let's catch up in a calm and chill manner. All right, you guys. So Summer with the Masters is over and it's very bittersweet. I love hosting events. I love Summer with the Masters. I think it's so much fun, and I had lots of fun working on a ton of different kits for that event this year, and was really happy with the finishes that I knocked out. But at the same time, when I get to the end of an event, especially like one that I'm hosting and that goes on for, like that one went on for 2 months, I just, once I get to the end of it, I'm like, okay, yes, I'm ready for a little bit of rest. So that's why, like, I'm not trying to squeeze in hosting an event here in the month of August, because I just need to, I want to catch my breath and make sure that I am energized and rejuvenated, and just have plenty of time and margin to plan for Drills and Chills. So I'm hosting Drills and Chills solo this year, which is on, it's completely fine. Jessica's taking the year off from hosting because she started a new job. I gave her the out. I was like, girlfriend, go focus on real life. It's completely fine. Don't even worry about it. I've got this. And so that's been really fun. We have a lot of really amazing sponsors lined up. I keep saying we. I'm not trying to be like, oh, the royal we. I'm so used to saying we, because this is actually the first event I'll ever have hosted by myself. I have only ever hosted 2 different diamond painting events. My first event that I hosted was Summer with the Masters of 2021, and that was with Jessica. And then Jessica and I co-hosted Drills and Chills together that year. So I thought it would be really interesting and rewarding to try hosting an event by myself. But I'm so used to saying we because I'm so used to co-hosting with someone. So I did catch myself doing that a lot when I was filming that Drills and Chills announcement video and putting together like the slides and stuff. I was like, I gotta stop saying we. People are gonna think that like I'm being pretentious or something. I'm like, I guess I could be referring to like the Modmin team that I'm relying on pretty heavily with the Facebook group, which there is a Facebook group for Drills and Chills. It's been pretty active, and we're going to start posting some more info in there as it comes up. And of course, once the event starts, I'm anticipating it's going to be hopping. So I will do my very best to remember to link to that Facebook group below and to the Drills and Chills announcement. So if you want to participate, there's still time to jump in if you would like to. I'm pretty happy with the wax and putty so far. Just like any putty, if I let this putty touch the canvas by accident, it does want to like stick to the glue, and then it gets stringy and strings off. But that happens really with any putty if you accidentally touch it to the glue. So yeah, what else has been going on as far as crafting and whatnot goes? Like looking at my notes, I'm like, what are these abbreviations that I made for myself? I do tend to write like a little list of notes just to refer to if I kind of like mind blank out. I tend to want to approach my WIP and Chats with the idea that I'm just sort of going to let it flow organically. I'm just going to kind of chat like it's a conversation. But I don't know. I like having a little list of things that I want to mention to refer to, just in case, I don't know, my mind wanders and I freeze up or something like that. And I was chatting with a friend recently who was thinking about like starting to do like some WIP and Chats and that sort of thing more frequently. And she's like, I just don't know that I have enough to talk about for an hour. And I'll share with you guys the same kinds of suggestions I shared with her. I was like, honestly, I just have figured out like a really rough sort of format that works for me. If you've been listening to my WIP and Chats for a while and have been like around my channel for a while, you may very well have noticed kind of what that rough pattern looks like. You know, it's like I'll start out talking about like just updates on stuff that's like happened on the channel and stuff. And if there's anything like really, I don't know, topical or relevant I want to make sure I touch on, I tend to jump into that relatively early. And then I give you like some family and life updates. And then I talk about what's coming up this week. And early on in my channel, when I felt like I kept running into, like, I get maybe half an hour into a WIP and Chat, and I really did want to talk for longer, but I felt like I didn't have anything else to talk about, I would just grab some tag questions. And if I had 10 minutes left, or if I had 20 minutes left, like, I would just have an ongoing list of tag questions, and I'd answer a few of them just to have something more to talk about. Now, you don't have to have your WIP and Chats be an hour long. You really, really don't. But I know that just as a listener and as a viewer, I really enjoy WIP and Chats that are I just like having background noise and company, because I'll put on WIP and Chats or vlogs and whatnot and just feel like I'm hanging out with a friend and catching up with a friend. And so I'm like, you could talk for 2 hours as far as I'm concerned. So I don't know. There's something about, I just personally, I guess, got stuck on, I'd love my WIP and Chats to get to that 1 hour mark if I can. So that was how I did that, is I just thought, okay, I'm going to, here are the things I know I want to talk about. And if I just don't feel like I have anything else to talk about, I'll just talk through some tag questions and encourage people like to answer them in the comments too, so I can get to know my viewers and my audience pretty well, or a little better as well. So there you go. Feel free to use that idea if you are, looking at either starting a channel or just starting doing WIP and Chats. If you're struggling with WIP and Chats in general, go ahead and try something like that. I want to listen to more WIP and Chats. So really, I'm being selfish here. I'm just working in my own interest to be like, hey, you guys, make those WIP and Chats longer so I have more to listen to. But yeah, so that's just an idea. How did I get stuck on it? I was talking about notes and how I take like just little notes of stuff I want to make sure that I touch on if I think of it. So thank you to all of you guys that participated in Summer with the Masters, and thank you to everyone that has already said like, oh, I'm going to participate in Drills and Chills, and I'm excited, and have my kit and all of that. I super appreciate you guys. It has been a whirlwind of a couple of weeks since I put up that Drills and Chills announcement, both in terms of like my channel, and behind the scenes and in my personal life. It has just been super, super busy. And so the kindness and the excitement and the encouragement, that has given me life like you have no idea. So even though I have been really pretty terrible about hearting comments, and let alone responding to comments, especially the past week or two, and I've been slow to respond to emails, and I miss a lot of Instagram messages because it likes to dump them in my requests folder, but then it puts your requests folder in a really weird order, and even if I try to put it anyway, it's a whole thing. It's complicated. I will say the best way to get in touch with me, honestly, is by email, because I can check my spam folder. It's very generally reliable. I always have my email in my description box. That's the best way to get in touch with me. But I was just saying that even though I have not been good about hearting or responding to comments and stuff like that, I want you guys to know that I read every single one. Literally every single comment that comes in, I read every single one of them. And you need to know that even if I have not hearted or responded to your comment, I need you to know that your comment makes a difference to me and means a lot to me. And I'm not saying that in an exaggeration or anything like that. They mean the world to me, and I super appreciate you guys. So please know that I do apologize. It's been a long time struggle of mine to feel like I'm trying to keep up with all the things. And I know this always results in so many of you guys being very sweet and gracious in the comments and telling me, don't worry about it, take care of yourself and all that. But still, I wish that I had the capacity and the lack of social anxiety. I wish that I did not have social anxiety. And depression and everything that I struggle with. I wish that those were not things that I felt like I had more ability just to be engaging and connecting with you guys. So little bit of vulnerability about what's happening in my head behind the scenes, and letting you know that I really do appreciate you, even though I'm not the best at consistently showing it. So this putty doesn't totally want to pick up the ABs, but I find with putty sometimes I kind of have to reset it and just kind of push it back in just real quick. I kind of do it on autopilot anymore. But yeah. So with that in mind, I will say, while 99.9% of you guys are super gracious and understanding and patient with me, I just want you to know that I really appreciate that, because I have had some encounters where recently, especially like I said with that Drills and Chills announcement video, and I swear I had hundreds of emails, like in combination, like in total, in a combination of emails, direct messages on Instagram, Facebook messages, comments in the Drills and Chills Festival of Witches Facebook group, like hundreds. And I was trying my best to like get back to them as quickly as possible. And there were one or two people that were really not happy that it took me more than a couple of days to get back to them. and then I didn't respond necessarily to comments on YouTube as quickly as they would have liked me to. So that's okay. You feel your feelings, but I will just say that I am very, very grateful for those of you that have been nothing but understanding and gracious because whenever I do finally respond, even if it's days or a week later, I'm always very apologetic, and you guys are nearly always like, it's fine, I get it, like you seem like you're super crazy busy, and everyone is busy. I totally get that. My circumstances are not any more important than anyone else's, but I'm a stay-at-home mom of 2 kiddos that both have special needs. They're both currently home from school, which really severely limits my time to get things done during the day, because I am a stay-at-home mom, and while YouTube has sort of turned into like a side gig, and I try to treat it with, the professionalism or whatnot of it being a job of sorts, the reality is that my first priority is that I am a stay-at-home mom to my kids. I'm going to make sure that they're taken care of. And not just like, throwing snacks at them every once in a while, even though it feels like that is probably 99% of my job with them, is being the official like snack opener and getter. Them home from the summer, oh boy, it's like a whole new full-time job. But I struggle with some mental health things. I struggle with anxiety and depression. I fully believe that I have undiagnosed autism, because you guys, it's really freaking hard to get a diagnosis as an adult, because it's just, especially with women, it's really, really hard to like find someone that can diagnose an adult woman and be able to see through like all of these like masking techniques that we've been taught and learned over like our formative years. So, anyway, it's just, there's, again, my struggles, my context is not any more important than anyone else's. I'm just letting you know what it is. And a lot of times what that means for me is that I struggle with executive dysfunction and responding to like emails and messages. Just, it takes a lot of time, and it takes a lot more mental and like emotional capacity than it may take for others. So that's where that comes from. This is a really good time for me to go ahead and drop in a mental health check-in. I like to do these relatively regularly, and this is the perfect time to do so. You guys, I feel like a lot of us are going through it. In addition to that, I really, really think that this craft in particular has a draw to people that have struggles with their mental health. I was just talking about this with a friend the other day about how I think it's really easy for us to look at ourselves as the outliers, like, oh, well, I struggle with this particular thing, like social anxiety or, depression, or, you name the neurodivergency here, or neurodevelopmental difference here. I think it's really easy for us to look at that and be like, oh, I'm the outlier, but like everyone else in this community is normal. And I would probably argue that it's the opposite in the diamond painting community, because I think that this craft helps so many people with regulating those, regulating that dysregulation, but like regulating their anxiety, like regulating their mental health struggles, whatever those look like. And so I think it's more safe to say that like, no, it's the norm to have like something going on. And so I think as much as we can be gracious to one another, like the better. But that being said, I think it's also really important to check in with ourselves and check in with each other when we feel like we have the capacity to just go, okay, take a breath and go, my friends, this is me actually asking you now, and I'd love for you to share as much in the comments. How are you feeling today? How are you doing with your spoons, if you're a spoonie? How are you feeling about your mental health? It is really okay if the answer is, yeah, not good. I'm not a therapist. I can't fix you, but if you just want someone to stand beside you here today and tell you, like, it's all right that you're not doing well today, and I'm going to stand here with you in solidarity and empathy and just go, you're not alone. I want to be that for you today and just tell you right now, like, you are very much not alone in your struggles, and it is super hard, but also you are way, 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 way stronger than you give yourself credit for, and you're going to get through this. So we're going to take it one day and one moment at a time, and you're not alone. You're not having to trek through this by yourself. You have a whole community of people, many of whom get it. They get what it's like to struggle to, like, some days just to get out of bed, some days to, like, just make that phone call to pay that bill, to take a shower, to drink enough water, to be social in any kind of form. Like, you're not alone. We're here. I'm here for you. So you guys, you've got this. You have got this. You're going to go kick butt today. Okay. Let me know how you're feeling in the comments, though. I'm here for you. You can use it for a venting space or just I'm right there with you. So for me, it has been a little bit of a roller coaster. I had a difficult mental health weekend last weekend in particular. We were very social, and that saps my energy. And there were also just some other things that happened that really, really were major triggers for my stress and anxiety. I tend to get extremely anxious and stressed when it comes to finances. And a really great way to add to that stress is for all of it to feel like it's hitting at once. And for me, it does feel like it comes in really distinct waves. Like, okay, now we're in a season of, it feels like we're just getting hit with so much at once. Like right now we're in a season where, yeah, that's happening. Like, we are expecting, we're in the midst of having some water damage in our walls assessed and repaired. Hopefully the actual repairs are going to take place next week, and hopefully we're actually going to get like a sense for how much this is going to cost us. I expect this is going to be extremely expensive, and I am stressed to the max about it. And so that's been kind of hanging over my head for a while. It's been a whole thing. I'm not really going to get into it more than that because it's probably just going to make me stress out even more. But we finally had a plumber not ghost us and actually come out and give us, like, you know, a sense for, this is where this leak is coming from. This is what's happening. Okay, next step is we have to have someone out to actually remove. We have to have drywall removed. There is quite possibly going to be mold in there, so it's going to be a whole thing with, like, they're going to have to set up, like, containment, and just, this is going to be so expensive. So that has been, like, just hovering in the back of my brain for a little while. And then on Saturday, Adam dropped his phone in the ocean. Adam dropped his phone in the ocean. And, like, no, the ocean took it away. Like, not like, oh, he dropped it and it just got wet. No, he dropped it and the ocean took it away. This phone that he got just a couple months ago. I love my husband dearly. It was an accident. Accidents happen. It's fine. I was not fine that day. I was so stressed. I was like, we just got that phone and now we have to, like, as it turned out, we basically had to pay out of pocket retail for a replacement. And I was just like, I can't, like, I really need these financial hits to stop coming. I feel like I'm still waiting on the hospital to send us, like, I feel like we still have not gotten all the bills for Connor's emergency surgery back in March. And I like both want to call the hospital and also want to like go ahead and do my typical like highly avoidant personality flaw, which is to just pretend like it doesn't exist. But like, yeah, I both want to call the hospital and be like, hey, do you have more money? Can you tell us? Because it's stressing me out to not know. And I also just want to be like, I'm just not going to say anything, like, because the longer they take to send us that bill, the more time that we have to like just continue to make sure that we have what we need to take care of that when it hits. So I just, you guys, I think I'm positive I'm not the only one that like finances are a major stressor for. But last weekend was just, it was rough. It was so rough. I had one of those experiences that I knew, like, I knew, I was like, Katie, your emotions are completely dysregulated right now. The way you're behaving is not reasonable. You need to regulate, get a handle on this, like, rage, and, like, you need to get it together. But I felt like it was this sense of, like, helplessness. It was like, but I can't. Like, I just feel like I can't. Could talk with my therapist about that. I am in therapy. I'm a huge advocate for therapy, like a huge advocate for therapy, and it has made a huge difference in my life. Like having that really, really difficult weekend last weekend, like probably one of the most spiked anxiety and stress to the max, like dumpster fire of a weekend that I've had in a very, very long time. There was a definite sense of relief that I knew, like, I get to go to my therapist on Friday and be like, okay, here's what happened. Help me unpack it. Help me figure out, like, how do I regulate when I feel like I can't? Like, help give me some tools and look at it from this outside perspective and help me figure out like how in the world to handle this better next time, because I was struggling, like in the midst of all this, struggling with lots and lots of guilt, feeling like I was being a terrible parent and family member and wife, I just felt like I was a terrible person, and so I was unpacking that as well. I'm like, I don't like who I am when I feel that way. So I want to figure it out. So, huge proponent for talk therapy, and medication can be a game changer. Like that, I am a huge proponent of that and have firsthand experience with that as well. So if you also are in that place where you just need a little nudge to try talk therapy, let this be your nudge. If you need a reminder to be like drinking plenty of water, make sure you're eating and getting some sunlight, this is your reminder for that. But I will say, if you're like me and you hate the summer and you hate the beach and you hate the ocean and you hate being hot and you hate sweating, I have really, really strong feelings about the summer and being hot. If you can't tell, if you've been around for a little while, this is not news to you. If you're in my Patreon, this is not news to you whatsoever, because this is like the thing that I whine and complain about the most. It's a huge character flaw. But like, if you're like me, then no, going outside and getting sunshine is not the answer. If you're like me, stay inside and park yourself in front of that AC, girlfriend or boyfriend. That's weird. That doesn't have the same effect as saying girlfriend. Whomever you are, they friend. Do whatever you need to take care of yourself, whatever you need to do. So yeah, there's our little mental health check-in. We'll just go ahead and start off this week's WIP and Chat really with let's dive deep and get super vulnerable right out the gate. Sorry, I get self-deprecating when I start to worry about how I'm making others feel. Anyway, other things that are going on. So my filming and just YouTube stuff in general looks very different with having the kids home from school. They finished up summer school and have a few weeks off now before they start back to like their regular school year. And they keep me hopping. I'll say that much. So I can't film in the mornings like I very much prefer to. I really, really, really strongly prefer being able to film in the mornings because I like the natural light situation. I like having my evenings to do more of like the admin-y stuff that relates to my channel and just relax and diamond paint like an unwind. And to like hang out with my husband. That's when we watch our shows and just get us time, after our kids go to bed. So I don't necessarily love taking up that time with filming if I can help it. But also, Adam is super, super understanding and supportive. Like when I'm like, yeah, the kids are home from school for the next month, so let's be strategic and plan out like how I can do filming in the evenings so that like it doesn't totally cut into us time. Like we're trying to work our way through some TV shows. We finally finished Moon Knight on Disney Plus, so we've caught up on a couple of Disney Plus shows. I'm not sure if we're gonna hop over to we need to finish Clone Wars. We have a couple of seasons left in that. We haven't watched Obi-Wan. We still need to watch like Miss Marvel, but then we just got HBO Max again. They were running some kind of special, so we picked it up again. And I'm going to start rewatching Doctor Who, but I'll do that by myself. That's not something we're going to watch together. But there are a few shows on there that we want to watch together. There have been a couple of shows on Netflix that have been on our watch list forever. Like, I really, really want to watch what I refer to as It's Creek, because I really don't want to say the name in front of my kids and have them repeating that like at school. Just in case. But that's been on our list, and there's so many shows, you guys. But Adam's been getting into like gaming again, so he's been doing that some of the evenings. So our show watching has slowed down, but also me having to film in the evenings cuts into our show watching time. But there was another show that I came across on HBO Max when we got it, and I was like creating my profile and my watch list and stuff. Oh, Person of Interest. That show was so good. We did watch it all the way through, like when it was airing, and that may be one of my next background shows. I'm working my way through rewatching Lost right now. I'm almost done with season 4. That's been really fun to rewatch, but I think because I've been watching Lost and the actor who plays Ben Linus is one of the leads in Person of Interest, and I think he is such a fantastic actor and such an interesting character in both shows. Like, since I'm watching Lost, I'm like, oh, I want to go watch. I'm blanking on his name. I always blank on his name, the actor's name. The actor who plays Ben Linus. Every time I say it, I can hear Adam in my head, like, rolling his eyes and being like, it's so-and-so, Katie. I tell you every time. And he knows at this point that, like, I have such a bad memory. Like, I'm always like, I don't remember. I just don't remember. Just tell me. Especially if it's not like a super like memorable name for some reason. Anyway. But yeah, that's the TV show update. What shows? I was just laughing. So I was like, you guys didn't ask for a TV show update, but you got one anyway. What shows have you guys been watching? I know that the next season of Cobra Kai is coming out soon. And that's a show that my friend Jacqueline really got me onto, and she's like next level obsessed with the show. But I promised her, I was like, I will start that show on release day with you. If we could talk about it. But that'll be fun too. Other things that are going on that since the last time. I was just checking. I was thinking back. I was like, had Adam and Connor tested positive for you know what in last week's the last WIP and Chat I did a few weeks back? Yes, they had. Just to update you guys, they have recovered. They're doing awesome. Adam is still dealing with some fatigue, but that is finally starting to improve as well. And Connor is completely back to himself. I was really nervous just because I know that that virus can affect the gut, and with Connor having had that emergency surgery that was on his intestines back in March, I just was like, ooh, I really, really hope that this is not going to have like some kind of extra adverse effect on him because of that. But he was completely fine. Especially, I was really, really nervous because it mostly started out with him throwing up, and yeah. With the surgery, with the procedure that he had to have done, that because there's some scar tissue there now, like he is technically, he's at higher risk for blockages, and so whenever he throws up, that puts me on super, super high alert for that now. If you're interested to hear about what exactly had happened, I'm not going to get into all that now because it's a really long story, and two, like it talks about like a medical procedure, and I know that's not something everyone necessarily wants to talk about, or it's triggering for them. So I will do my very best to remember to link to the WIP and Chat where I talked about everything that happened. It was like a highly, highly, highly traumatic experience for me that I actually at this point I think my mind has mostly blocked it out because it was so incredibly traumatic for me. Not to center myself in like this like crazy horrific like emergency surgery and situation that Connor had to go through at all. Like, of course I'm not trying to center myself in that. I'm just we're talking about how I'm feeling, so that's what I'm doing right now. But yeah, I really think that my mind has mostly has blocked out a lot of what happened in those days and in those moments, just to kind of, I don't know, let me continue to heal through that. So yeah, anyway, this is just going to be like hey, let's dive super, super deep into like the difficult stuff here. That's never something I've had a particular problem doing, even with people that I don't know that well, is I tend to like skip the small talk. I find small talk to be kind of irksome. Like I don't know. It doesn't feel very authentic to me. Like I'm one that tends to like dive into like the deep and hard stuff like really fast. Like tell me, yes, go ahead. Like I'm a safe person to tell all your deepest, darkest secrets. And I've gotten that kind of like people have said that to me before. They're like, I've never told anyone this before. Like you're just someone I feel like I can really open up to. I'm like, I just feel like I'm doing the bare minimum, like just validating you and listening to what you're saying. But I'm glad that you feel like I'm a safe person to talk to. And this is like people that mostly that I know like in person or have had one-on-one conversations with. But yeah, that's what's happened. Micah and I never tested positive for the thing, but we had the thing back in January. And even though I tested myself several times because I really felt like I was symptomatic, like I was sick, and I just thought it's possible this is something else. But with the timing of everything, this seems an awful lot like the thing. I think I tested like 5 or 6 times over the course of a couple of weeks because I kept hearing people say things like, oh yeah, you keep hearing about people testing negative for so many days, like, and you don't test too early and blah, blah, blah. No, I never, not even a hint of a line. It was kind of, it just reminded me of taking pregnancy tests, honestly. Like, you set the timer, you wait, any line is a line. Like, it really was, I mean, so much about taking those tests is just like taking pregnancy tests. It was so weird. It was like the weirdest kind of deja vu. But yeah, Micah and I never got it. Micah has continued to make some really slow but still noticeable like moves forward with his speech improving. He's 4, almost 4.5, and he's mostly nonverbal. I really wish that there were maybe like a term for this, and I feel like one of you told me this in a past WIP and Chat where I mentioned this. A lot of his communication is scripting. Maybe that's just how I would put it, is he can communicate a little bit, like if he's scripting, like he can read a book that's essentially by rote, but no, he reads words too. Like even if it's something he's never seen before, if it has words that he recognizes and letters, like he'll even try to sound things out. His teachers notice this as well. This is not me just like projecting things onto my kids. But they brought it up to me independently of me saying anything. Like, have you noticed that Micah seems to be reading and trying to sound out words? I was like, I'm glad that you said something and that it's not just me imagining things. But he does not really do much at all in the way of sort of spontaneous speech, like where he would just come up to you and ask for something. He's certainly not answering like how and why questions. He doesn't answer a lot of questions in general, but he's starting to make some good improvements, and that's really encouraging because it's a huge point of frustration for him when he wants something or something is frustrating or upsetting and he just feels like he can't tell us what that is. And I try so hard to like help prompt him and like give him those words and give him options, and we're getting there. We're really, really getting there. It was really, really, it was funny. Like Adam and I both cracked up, but then we're also like, okay, this was actually super cool. The other night when, this was just a couple of nights ago, we always read books with our kids before we put them to bed, and they get to pick out the books they want to read and stuff like that. But I was, trying to get Micah to like settle so we could read, and I was offering a couple of books. I was like, oh, did you want to read like Nibbles Numbers tonight? And I handed it to him, and he took it and then he threw it and he said, no, good night, Moon. And Adam and I both, like, our first reaction was to want to laugh, but then also to be like, oh, that's so, like, of course, Micah, thank you so much for telling me what you wanted. This, to you guys, this probably sounds like this should not be a big deal at all. This is the first time that Adam and I remember Micah responding so clearly to something, offering him something and him saying no, and then telling us what he did want. Again, I know that probably doesn't sound like a big deal, especially for a 4-year-old, but for Micah, that is a really, really big deal. And so, of course, we tried to like reinforce that really well and be like, yeah, okay, yeah, you got it, buddy. Here's Good Night, Moon. And then we're just kind of like laughing after too, because we're like, that was really, really cool. Also, that was so funny. Like, could not be any clearer. No to Nibbles Numbers. Good Night, Moon. So he has been super, super, super into Lilo and Stitch lately. He is really just full on using Stitch as his personal role model at this point. And this is the first movie like he has asked for multiple times a day. He never asks for movies more than once a day, but he is 100% asking for Lilo and Stitch like at least twice a day. And I'm just like, dude. This is to watch for fun, not as like a guidebook for how to behave. So, but it's so funny. We definitely joke that like Connor is our Lilo and Micah is our Stitch. Gosh, I love those kids so much. They are a hoot and they're the best ever. I love them. And they're hilarious. They're so funny. Connor, well, we've been watching The Lion King a lot too, because Connor, for his summer school program, they put together a production of The Lion King, and actually his teacher just sent me over the link to the video for it, and Adam and I are going to sit down and watch it together. But Connor got to play Rafiki, and I'm like, I need to see this so badly. He came home with like some really light like face paint or like makeup on his face, where I guess he was Rafiki. And they did a little bit of like face makeup. I'm like, I am dying to see this and see like, did he have lines? Like, well, how did this go? But yeah, so those are the updates on the kids and Adam and me, I suppose. I have still been dealing with headaches, unfortunately. I definitely landed myself in a cycle of rebound headaches last week. I say last week. Yeah, it really will be last week for you guys. I feel like I just broke out of it on like Wednesday or Thursday, but you guys, I started with a migraine last Tuesday, like a week and a half ago now. So almost 2 weeks ago by the time this video goes up. A migraine that woke me up from a dead sleep and is honestly the worst migraine I've ever had in my life. And it came out of nowhere. I still don't know what triggered it. I looked at like my foods that I had eaten like the day before and kind of like just schedule and all of that. I could not pinpoint where in the world this migraine came from. But I mean, sometimes that's just what happens when you start really dealing with migraines regularly, I guess. But I felt like I had to basically like crawl to the bathroom because the idea of waking Adam up and trying to tell him like what I need and just the effort of like waking him up sounded more excruciating than just getting myself to the bathroom so I could take medicine. And I just like, I went to the bathroom, I took an Imitrex, which the Imitrex is not working for me. I'm going to be letting my doctor know that like, this was a miracle medicine for my mom and is for a lot of people. It is not working for me. Like, it's not cutting the migraine like almost at all. It didn't feel like. I was just in such a panic that, and I had asked my doctor about this before. She's like, yes, you can take other medications with Imitrex. Side note, disclaimer, I am not a doctor. I'm not giving you medical advice. I'm repeating what my doctor told me for my specific situation. So please, please, please don't take what I'm saying as medical advice whatsoever for your situation. But she had told me that she's like, you can take other medications. So if you take the Imitrex and it doesn't work, yes, you can take Excedrin, or yes, you can take Advil, et cetera, et cetera. So I was just like frantic. I was like, I have to get rid of this. I can't. Like, it hurts to think, it hurts to breathe, it hurts to anything. Everything hurts. I feel like my head is going to explode. I feel like someone is stabbing the insides of my eyes. And like, I can't, like, breathing hurts, thinking hurts, everything hurts. Everything hurts. I have to get rid of this. I have to get rid of this. So I took an Imitrex and Excedrin and then made myself like drink a bunch of water and try to stay upright so that I wouldn't completely destroy like my stomach, because those kinds of medicines can be hard on your stomach. And then I felt like I was just laying in bed like whimpering and just, like I just need cold, silent, dark, like, and it kind of like abated. But then I felt like I basically had some kind of headache in some form for like the following week. I've never had a headache, like really, I didn't have an entire headache free day at all, for a week. And then I was like, now I know for sure that at this point I'm in a rebound headache cycle. And so I forced myself to really try to break that the past couple of days. And I have been blissfully headache-free today. I think I was yesterday too. I need to update my tracking. I think I was headache-free yesterday as well. But I just am like, I gotta get this figured out. But yeah, because rebound headaches are just no joke. That's when your body just gets like so reliant on. It's if you take medication for headaches too often. Once you try to stop, then you get a rebound headache. So that was fun. That's the headaches update. And as much as I'm trying to track all the things, I do feel like I really am still struggling to pinpoint exactly what my triggers are. And I mean, I know what some of them are, but I felt like I couldn't pinpoint them this past week. I just felt like it was kind of happening. So anyway, that's the headache update. I know a lot of you have shared that you struggle with migraines or know someone that struggled with migraines, and you just empathize with that. But I do wonder if, especially given how mine seem to be getting worse and whatnot, I don't know if my doctor will go ahead and refer me out to a neurologist, because part of me is like, should I do like an MRI just to make sure something else isn't going on? If we're going to start like trying out different medications or something, or if I have to go on a daily, like should I be under the care of a neurologist? I'm not sure. So I need to make an appointment with her to get that all figured out because I want to continue to be proactive. But my original goal was just to really track my headaches for 2 to 3 months and be able to like come to her with data. And she agreed with this. So I come to her with data and be like, this is what my headaches look like, how often I'm having them, my pain level, my suspected triggers, and then we can make a game plan. So that's, you know, kind of what's going on with that. We've had a lot of like stressors and life changes happening though. I don't remember if I said something already in this WIP and Chat. I think I did. Can't remember. We had some immediate family move to town this summer. And transitions are always really difficult for me. And going from living out here with no immediate family living here for over a decade, like since we got married, because I graduated from college and we got married a couple weeks after that, and we moved across the country a month after that. So that was a crazy summer. But since we moved out here, we have not had any immediate family living nearby. And now we do. And so it's a transition to figure out like, okay, what does this dynamic look like? How do we figure out kind of what our usual, like the pace of life and things that we're used to doing? How do we figure out what this looks like? But how does that shift and change, and how does it not shift and not change? It's just, it's a transition, and it's not a bad one. Like, it can be a good transition and a transition for a good reason and still be difficult to go through because it's a change, especially if you struggle with change and you thrive on routine and structure, that is extra difficult. So I'm sure that like stress has been a trigger for my headaches as well. Like the beach day from where on Saturday, like I was just like, yeah, no, I have a screaming headache that's specifically because of this situation. Like I know what this trigger is to put in my headache log for this day. But yeah, that's going to be kind of an ongoing thing. And part of it is because it's still like summer break, but once school starts and all the kids are in school, I think it's going to look a little bit different again. We'll kind of settle into a little bit more of a regular routine. But right now it's just everything is real, like, up in the air and stuff. So, yeah, so that's kind of what's, been going on and has, of course, been affecting my mental health as well. But anyway, you guys, we have been chatting for almost an hour. Actually, I'm surprised my phone battery hasn't run out, but now's a good time to quit. But, before we do, while I'm wrapping up, let me play some of these, like, amazing special drills. I need to drink water. You guys, look at these, like, peacock feather diamonds. Like, what the heck? I'm not even going to try to use, like, a pen to place these. I'm literally going to place them with my fingers. How amazing are those? Those are so pretty. Oh my gosh, I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Oh my gosh, that's gorgeous. You guys, I should have done these earlier so you could have enjoyed them the whole time. Okay, anyway, what's coming up this week? As soon as I finish up this video, I'm going to go edit together the video I have going up tomorrow, which I'm calling Snack Time. That's going to be all of my snack size kits, my haul from Amazon, and the Amazon exclusives like from Diamond Art Club. Why I put those in there, I don't know. Let's use the putty side to help place these more easily. So that's coming up. I'll have a sneak peek from Diamond Art Club for you guys at the end of the week. This one's going to be a really special treat because I'm pretty sure I'm actually going to finish that kit before that sneak peek needs to go up. So it's going to be a sneak peek and a finish because I got that kit in last week and it has been working up really quickly. And actually I've been working on it basically exclusively since it came in on like Tuesday. I think it was Tuesday it came in. And it's amazing. It's everything I love in artwork and diamond painting. Like it is my absolute happy place. So that'll be really fun to be able to do a sneak peek that also shows like the kit completely finished. So that'll be coming on Friday. I might this week try to get up my kit kitting up video for my cross stitch conversion, because I have actually been working on that a little bit, but I haven't put up the kitting up video for you guys, so I would really like to do that as well. Look at those special drills too. Let me wrap this one and I'll wrap up here. So anyway, you guys, thank you for hanging out with me. I hope that you enjoyed getting to catch up and whatnot here. I know that it got kind of heavy right off the bat, like at the beginning. I have to pull that washi tape out of the way. But I really, really appreciate you guys for being here. I appreciate you being really gracious and flexible about the fact that I am not consistent and reliable about responding to messages and emails. I am trying. I'm really trying to get better about it and to not let so much time pass before I respond to those things. Please know, is not personal at all. I promise I am doing my very, 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 very best. I tend to give everyone the benefit of the doubt and assume that they're doing their very best as well. But anyway, you guys, if you made it all the way to the end, how about a horse emoji? I think there might be a carousel horse specifically emoji, but that's what this kit is. We just worked on this horse's booty in this particular WIP and Chat. But thanks for hanging out with me. If you made it all the way to the end and you're not already subscribed, you would probably like it here. Feel free to subscribe. You can hit the bell to be notified when I share new videos. I'm super happy that you're here and appreciate that you stuck it out all the way to the end. I hope this was at least enjoyable and I was able to keep you company. So let me know how you guys are doing as well with the mental health check-in so that I can just be thinking of you and sending positive thoughts your way. All right, friends, I'm going to let you go. Have an amazing week, and I'll chat with you in the next one. Bye.